Hi there, this is Neil Davidson. Welcome to another video on avforums.tv. In this tutorial, we're going to look at different types of speaker. The first place to start with this very large speaker that I have standing next to me. This is a type of speaker known as a direct radiating floor standing speaker. So the floor standing part is fairly self-explanatory. As you can see, the speaker stands on the floor. The second part about direct radiating is just a fancy technical term. What that means is that the sound comes straight from the driver towards the listener. There's nothing else designed to happen with the sound. So this is a floor standing direct radiating speaker. This is the second type of speaker that we'll look at. This is also a direct radiating speaker in that the sound comes directly out towards the listening position. However, as you can see, this is much smaller than the floor standing speaker we just looked at. This type of speaker would typically be referred to as either a satellite speaker or sometimes a bookshelf style speaker. As you can see, it's a lot smaller. So the main difference between this type of speaker and the large one that we looked at earlier is in the low frequency response. The drivers in this particular speaker are simply too small to produce a really deep bass. So what that means is, normally you would use a speaker like this with the addition of a separate subwoofer to supply the low bass frequencies. The next type of speaker that we're going to look at is a type of speaker that would typically be used for surround sound in a multi-channel home cinema system. This type of speaker here can get used in two different modes. On this speaker there is a switch to select which of the modes it runs in. The first of these modes is known as dipole. So again, a technical term, but all dipole means is that the sound comes from the two sides in opposite directions. A dipole speaker is particularly useful in a smaller room, or in a room with a lot of reflection, or in a situation where the surround speaker needs to be close to the listener. The reason why it's useful is because the sound is going towards the two sides, it's not coming directly at the listener. You don't get that exit door effect that we've spoken about in an earlier tutorial. The second mode that this can run in is bipole, so slightly different. What happens in a bipole configuration is the sound gets emitted almost in a 180-degree arc around the speaker. A bipole configuration is excellent for surround speakers because it gives a very wide coverage of the seating area. So that's the two different types of speaker that you'll see in this configuration: dipole and bipole. The final type of speaker that we're going to look at during this tutorial is actually an in-wall speaker. Now, this is a direct radiating design. We have a woofer and a tweeter. The sound's just coming straight out from the speaker. The main difference between this one and the satellite speaker that we spoke about earlier on, though, is simply that this is designed to be built into a wall rather than to sit on a shelf or on a small stand. There are actually some benefits that you can get acoustically from building a speaker in like this, especially in the small size. You can get some boundary gain benefits, which means that the low frequencies get some extra performance simply due to the positioning in the wall. So this is an in-wall direct radiating speaker. Thanks for watching this short tutorial on different types of speaker. We hope you join us again for the next in this series of tutorials on avforums.tv.